Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends to go over the Dark Elf Void Champion, Lua. You're going to really like her for 12's Arena, I think. We're going to try to fight as many Rotos as possible here to really show what she's doing. We are at 12 in Platinum Arena using her. You saw her there on the bottom right. We're going to switch it up, put her in here, see if we can do enough damage. Here's her total stats. We've got her in immunity artifacts at 4,500 attack, 269 critical damage, 100% chance to crit, of course, with immunity gear. Pretty good, and since we're facing a lot of Rotos, you know with Rotos, they're always going to have the other overpowered stuff like Torment or Sifi. That's why we got to have the immunity artifacts on her. With you, you know, coming up in the game, no matter where you're at, even though my gear might be better than yours, my artifacts, my stats, it really just depends on where you're at in the game. If you're fighting in Gold 1, Gold 2, Gold 3, your gear will probably be comparable to the people you're facing. So don't worry about that. The biggest thing is that her A2 has a multi-hit. It hits 3 times. AoE hits everybody 3 times. I'm sure you just saw it. And that's what we need against Rotos. We need something that can multi-hit to take him out. You've got to, because if you do a single hit to Rotos, his passive will activate and he will take a turn immediately. And that means that normally, since you did that much damage to him, he will do his A3, kill somebody, and then go on to do his A2, right? Which is very strong, and then he's already used a turn, so he's going to come back around and use his A3 again, because it's on a 3-turn cooldown. So here we are. We're dropping everybody down. Here we go. We're going to do this. Hits everybody 3 times, and she can heal back. You see those heals? 896. Not bad. I mean, there are a lot of heals. So we're getting, you know, 3 times 4. That's 12 heals off. So 12 times 896, it's something. It's not bad at all. Gives us a little something extra on there. Her A1 will hit somebody. Her A1 hits somebody, and then as long as she crits, it hits everybody else. But it spreads that damage out, so it's not a high-hitting move. And then her A3 is actually a very hard-hitting move that can deplete a turn meter. We're going to go up against a Hegemon here. It can deplete a turn meter and go through shields and block damage. So her A3 is very good as well, and she's great in something like Fire Knight and a lot of other things in the game. Don't feel bad about leveling her up. Never feel bad about leveling her up. I leveled her up when I first started playing this game, and I used to use her a lot. So we're looking for a Molly tankard, one of my Mollies to bring in here, right? The strongest one. We're going to bring her in here. Normally, I wouldn't go up against a Hegemon with a Lua, but we do have her in immunity artifacts, and the team that I'm fighting against didn't have a Sifi or anything crazy in here. But I did make a fatal mistake. I use Foley all the time. I have 2 max level Foleys completely booked, ready to go. I use them a lot. And I provoked a Foley. You never provoke a Foley. He should be taking a turn right now, but he was too slow, even with the 50% additional turn meter increase that he got when I provoked him, to even go. So luckily, Lua was able to take everybody down. Wasn't strong enough to kill this Arbiter here, but that's okay. Boom, she's done. We took it out with Lua. She's there. She's getting the job done. We're able to get this. So for you in 12's Arena, we need 12 champions, right? You might come up against Rotos. You might have been having trouble with Rotos. Well, if you already have a Lua maxed out, then go ahead and get her up, get her ready for Arena, and use her. Use her in your group. These kind of epic champions are very good to use. We're going to do more guides on some other epic champions. Also in here, I threw in a couple bonus clips of going up against high resistance team, and then another one going up against a super fast team, I think at the very end here. So we'll see what we can do here. There you go. You see, oh, we put it on auto. I wanted to see what would happen with Lua if I put it on auto. Could I put it on auto and she would do her AoE? She didn't. She did her A3 here. I was talking to you guys. I'm sure you might not even be able to see it because it's probably blocked here on my screen, right? Yeah, you guys can't see the auto button. I put it on auto. She does her A3 on auto. Not good for us. We want her to do her AoE, so we'll get out of here. We'll come back in and we will use her A2. We'll get that AoE 3 hit on everybody. Once I chime down this music a little bit. All right, let's go. Back at it. Yes, Stu. We're at 22 now. We've dropped quite a bit. We're being hit. I've actually got Lua in my defense right now on here. Yeah, okay, that's great. That's great. Let's go back to this team. We're going to go back on it. Here it is, the first one. Now, this time we're going to do what we're supposed to do. We're not going to put it on auto. I wish we could. I love being able to, you know, if they're going to do the moves you want, you just go in here, put it on auto, and you're done, right? And Madam's a big person who doesn't do what she's always supposed to do on auto. Here we go, 3 hits, boom, boom. And we even did a mass amount of damage to this Harvest Jack, which is great because he's got high HP but low defense, so we should do a pretty good amount of hits with those 3 hits. All right, we got to get some more tokens, and then we will continue on. again, she's a really good champion. If you haven't played her before, if she's been in your vault and you don't have a huge roster and you don't have a lot of champions that do multi-hits and you want a way to clear out the whole entire team, obviously you see me coming in with Madam. We need that decreased defense. We really do. These champions are all too strong, especially where I'm at right now in Platinum, to even play around with trying to do it without decreased defense. She just won't do enough damage. Her multipliers are good, but they're not crazy, like astronomical. It's not like hitting 2 times with a Trunda on her A3. It's not like that. Trunda's A3 hitting twice is super strong. Very, very strong. Much stronger than Lua, but she's a legendary, right? Not everybody has her. Hopefully, more people have Lua, and they've used her and they've enjoyed her because you can also... Well, we just took a big hit there. That's not good. And you've also been using her in maybe Ice Golem, Fire Knight, Dragon, something else, right? Or maybe the keeps that you use, maybe you're using her there because she is a very good champion. Depleting a turn meter is always very good. Going through shields and block damage here in Arena is good to have, right? You never know when you might need that. And the A1 hitting multiple times isn't really that great, right? Doesn't really do a lot, plus it's a pretty weak hit. It takes 50% of that actual hit and then splits it up among everybody else. And I don't even think it does that much, because right then that would have been 20. They would have been hit by 10,000 each if that was the truth. So I don't know what the calculations are on that are, but it's not working. Maybe it has to do with how many champions, even if they're not alive, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So it did 5,000 on each. That would make sense, but who knows? Whatever. That's what she does. So I think we're doing pretty, fairly well for where we're at, fighting against all these really tough opponents. Obviously, I'm fast. That's good. We got to be faster to use a champion like this. So don't worry about it if you're thinking, oh, it's just because you're fast. Well, you might be faster than the people where you're at in the game, right? And that's all that matters. Obviously, I'm at the very end game, so I'm trying to be as fast as I can with teams like this, right? I have to be. Everybody needs to be. We all want that speed increase so we can have easy days to come in here with our blender comps or whatever else we want to bring in and just kill everybody as quickly as possible and as easy as possible. So right here, we did take them out. That's good. We've got Krisk still left over. Well, we've got our A3 here to do. And again, it hits a lot harder than this. This was a pretty good hit. Maybe he did actually have really high defense, but almost 50,000 on a Krisk, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I doubt he even had that total HP. Really, I don't think he did. Unless he just had a mass amount of HP and a mass amount of defense. Who knows, but it's still a really good move. All right, let's see what we've got here. We are faster. That's great. We're going to do the same thing. Drop it down. And we're going to give Rotos what he deserves. Give it to him. That's it. We need our bonus clip with our high defense. Where are you at, Boomer? So our buddy Boomer has always had a high... There he is. He's got a high defense team. So I always do like a bonus clip in here. Dark Elhain, I did a bonus clip against the Blitz blender teams out there where you could just bring in 2 Skull Crowns along with a third, and you could beat those teams very easy. Super easy. And here is a high resistance team, right? Very, very high resistance. Again, a really high resistance team isn't going to be very fast, so you don't have to worry about being super fast against them. You just got to make sure that you bring in what you need to bring in. I do have 2 Madams built up. One is at 700 accuracy. I do know that one of his champions is at like 810, but that's okay. As long as we're within 40 or 60 points of them, we can still remove everything. Resistance, accuracy doesn't have to be as high as resistance. I can't remember what the dev said, but it was like 40 or 60 points of that, and we'll have just as good a chance to remove it as we would normally. And then also, whenever you do a skill that's off cooldown, we get additional accuracy, right? With our support mastery. So we're going in here. She's at 700. These guys don't care though, right? Facelesses, we go through, we ignore damage, we ignore defense, we ignore shields, and we just tear some stuff up. And then we're bringing in an Ethwe to take care of the Rotos, right? The biggest threat here, obviously, and on every single team you face in Platinum, primarily is a Rotos out there. So we got to take care of that guy. We need multi-hit for that, so we bring in the Ethwe Blood Twin. So we let them buff up. That's not a problem. They buff up. That's cool. We're gonna deplete. We're gonna remove it all. Decrease defense. Now I do want to be faster than the Rotos. Normally I would be like, okay, I need to bring my guy's speed up a little bit, because it's fine that we're going in here and we're taking these people out. We let them go first so that they could buff up, which we're gonna remove it. Even if we don't remove it, we're still gonna do this. But right now, I didn't like that Rotos hit, because if the Rotos was smart, if they made the AI smart enough, it would do A3 and then come in with the A2, but I think they did that on purpose so he's not too overpowered on defense. He will do it if you do enough damage to him right away, if you attack him. But if you don't attack him, usually he will always attack with the A2 instead of the A3. If he does the A3, ignores 75% defense, he kills somebody, block, revive, goes through everything, takes another turn after that, and we're in some trouble. We're in some real trouble. I think the rest of this are just a battle about me and Wanna Mess. So Wanna Mess just has a very fast team, right? A super fast team, and for me to combat that, I had to take my Lua out. I couldn't do it with my Lua. I try to bring in who I need to. You got to, if they're a very fast team like this, you got to bring in a Valkyrie. The only way to catch up with any team is a Valkyrie, and especially against a Siphi, because she's putting up all those buffs. And that's what Valkyrie does. Whenever a buff gets applied to an enemy, Valkyrie drops her turn meter by 10%. And she can do that 3 times on each of those applying out here. So that'd be a 30% decreased turn meter on that enemy team for each one that they apply, each buff. And Siphi applies 3. So it works out really, really well against a Siphi. And then Valkyrie, it gives her a turn meter increase, so she gets to fly in there and use her A1. If they're under a buff with her A1, she will knock their turn meter down, which is by a lot. So we're not gonna, like, I'm trying to match Wanna Mess's speed. And Wanna Mess is a cool person too. We see them a lot in streams as well. So here I should have gone for this Athalia. I always go for the Athalia or I always go for the Warlord because they will have higher accuracy, not really any resistance. But a lot of people nowadays, since they've got their Siphis, they're the only ones that need to be fast. They can speed tune a higher resistance Arbiter to that. So don't worry ever about knocking down the Arbiter. Make sure you go knock down that Athalia, knock down that Warlord. You knock it down by a crazy amount. We're going to see that in a minute. So we messed up already. We need to match that speed. We're going to do that with a different team. So I'm going to come in here and Wanna Mess again. We're going to do this one. Again, I hit Arbiter. I shouldn't have. Okay, one more time. Wanna Mess. Here we go. I'm on to you. I'm on to you now. We had to take out our Lua. So this is no longer part of the Lua video. But it does show what you have to do against somebody that is faster than you to try to disrupt their speed. They're bringing in 3 different people to get a turn meter increase. That way they can just do damage with their one Foley. Now, obviously, if I had a Hegemon, it might be different. If I had a Krisk, it could be different. But we don't have that, right? So we got to work with what we've got. So we've got to try to break in, and we're going to do it this time. So my Athalia is really fast as well. No, we're going to hit that Athalia. We know she's not going to have high resistance. Look how much we knocked that down. So much that even if they're Arbiter and they're going to go, that we can still break in. So we're going to break in again. Reduction. Now we can kill their Foley. That's the real threat, is the Foley. We almost kill their Athalia, which would have been nice. It would make it faster. So now we have to work our way and kill these 3. We either have to loop back around, which is kind of a pain, right? Loop back around to our block revive with our Foley, but it looks like we're doing enough damage right now that we'll be okay. Athalia is very annoying, that 2-turn heal. Turn meter increase also if she overheals. But these champions, they don't seem like they could take a big hit from our Foley, so it should be fast. We'll take care of this Arbiter and we're done. But that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Lua can be very good for you in your 12s, in dungeons in general, and in arena. Use her against your Rotos if you need to. Get that multi-hit in there. Hopefully you have a Madam or somebody else that you can drop defense, but maybe where you're at, it won't matter. Maybe she can do enough damage that it really won't matter. But I appreciate all the love and support. I will see you guys all on a video soon.